Running out my life, who are you chasing? Yeah, I'm 33 now just to give you a glimpse. Life without you, I've been blessed ever since, but there's...
How y'all doing? My name is William Cata. I'm from the Bronx. Married. I rap for Jesus Christ. So, growing up in the Bronx, had a loving mother, have a loving mother. Had a stepdad, have a stepdad who introduced me to Christ. I guess that was my, per se, lifeline, like, because I don't think it's nothing deeper than you introducing somebody to the gospel. So he played a big father role in my life. He played the father role in my life. I would say my real dad, I would go on trips with him from time to time, see his parents, my grandparents. Financially, he was there in a way where, he'll buy me material things and things like that. I don't know what it's like to live with my dad. Not only just that, I know with my father, he took care of me the way he best knew how to do it. And I don't fault him for that. But it wasn't to the capacity of what a child needs. A child needs his father, and I could probably count on one hand how much time we really said, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just say that my dad, just like myself, I guess you could say, it comes from his side or him, but it's a lot of pride my dad has. So, if it ain't his way, he gonna make sure you know if you ain't agreeing with that. So, I remember being young, I wanna say him and my mom's had a disagreement. I brought it up to him before, but he'll say that never happened. And it's so weird how you can remember things from being a child. And not like, I remember it like it was yesterday, right? My mom said I was young, but they had a disagreement he called BCW. And in the neighborhood that I come from, the one thing you don't want to be is like, they clown you when you a snitch. What they call a snitch, because everybody's definition of that could be blurred up. So my older brother, who, passed, he got murdered in '05, but he was like, yo, your pops called the cops on mommy. So I'm like, I'm tight, I punched the wall. I'm like, Dad, my dad is a snitch. But, that was neither here nor there, as a kid. But I remember the police coming upstairs to my crib, and him telling the police in front of my mom's, like, oh, she got them playing with lighters, she got this, and that is far from the truth. Like, but I guess, my father do a lot of things that be vengeful, and it bite him in the end, you know what I'm saying? So from all of that, they saw it was no case really they could build up, and I had to go through weeks of a social worker coming to pull me out of class. Now it's like, yeah, so how's this at home and how's that? And they see the story never change. I come from a great home, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we in the middle of the ghetto, but our house was the love beacon. Like, everybody's kids is in our house, like, you know what I'm saying? So through it all though, my stepdad was the one who really disciplined me. Sometimes I feel like it's disrespectful to call my stepdad. But when I introduce him to people, it's always like, yeah, that's my dad. And I think that played a big part into, it was such a contrast between him and my dad. Now, in my real dad's defense, I don't think it's fair to compare because, he probably did what he knew the best, how he did. And, so, yeah, man, it's just, that's one of many things that happen. But the thing with my dad, he's just very prideful and very, it gotta be his way. And you should always seek understanding before you ever seek to try to be right. It's just a lot, man. So I know now, I used to rap in the secular part of the side of the music. I used to go by Pop Dollars, right? ran with the biggest of the biggest, and he's seen that, and you know, I notice he'll cling to me a lot of times when it look like it's on the up and up, right? Now I rap for the Lord. He's not too fond of the topic of God. I even brought it to him one time because that's the most important thing to me is your soul, right? But I use the name William Cata. I've always been Cata since I was little. That's my mom's last name. So now all of a sudden in this season of my life, it's like a big problem to where it's like one day he called me just out the blue. I'm like, hello? He's like, yeah, what's your last name? So I'm like, Cata. I knew what he was getting at though. So he's like, that's not your last name. When you was younger, you could ask your moms, yada, yada. You know, everybody, there's her truth, there's his truth, and there's the truth.
Right.
Again, that's something you talk about with her, not for nothing, right? I know sometimes, not all the time, women can have a bad rep, but sometimes they do be true. They'll keep the kid from the father for whatever reasons. In the case of my situation, from what I see, because you could trick a kid, but for so long. You know what I'm saying? Kid gonna open his eyes and see. You know what I'm saying? So I just noticed that, you know, basically he said, I guess they did go to the court to change my name. I got his middle name, first of all. So if she was that wild, she probably, mind you, and when I was born, it was my stepdad that was there. I came out and peed on him. You know what I'm saying? I peed on my stepdad. You know what I'm saying? So when he called me and asked me that, like, and it wasn't to be disrespectful, because again, I'm still a man of God at the end of the day. I still believe that you can prolong your days by honoring your mother and your father. You can, it's something great in that. Even when they don't do it to you, you still show the love of Christ when you do that, because it's like, yo, out of everything I do, how is it that he's still, you know? So, granted, I asked him, like, but, you know, let me ask you, though. Being that was my name, like, so was you there when I came out my mom's? Like, was you there to write or sign or what? Well, you gotta ask your mother what happened. And then he tried to woo me, like, put me under the woo, because then he goes, yo, so let me tell you, you remember, like, how your mom was with, so my stepdad name is Albert. Remember how she was with Albert and then they didn't work out, so she went. And my thing is like, yo, you talking to me, like, that got nothing to do with nothing. So my mom was pregnant, they got into it. He knew where she was at. He could have called her. I didn't see my dad, I think, till I could be wrong. I think I was about 3 months. He was probably older than that. So, mind you, they got into it. Again, my dad could be prideful. I know from knowing him, you know what I'm saying? So, he went his way. Mom still doing what she doing. She got a baby. I guess he take my mom to court to change my name. The agreement was, he could change his last name, but you're gonna have to come and get him every weekend. You gotta, I guess, 1 or 2 weekends, and then after that, it was back to, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, that sounds bad, like, you know, I got a pops that don't care. I know deep down inside he truly loves me, but I don't think the self-sacrifice was there in the way it could have. And again, maybe I'm spoiled with the love my stepfather gave me. You know what I'm saying? So that could be there too, but it's just a lot of unresolved issues. And I'm always willing to talk to him about it. You know, we'll get on the phone. I'm like, yeah, I love you, Dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta fight me. Like, I'm cool on that. I ain't about to none of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like, I love my dad, but I just get to my grandmother. I'm on the phone with my grandmother, and I told her, you know, I don't know why my dad is like this. Like, he's just this is just how he is. Like, it's either his way or no way. So she's just like, you gotta understand. I said, you would think. She said, when he was younger, him and his dad, my grandfather, who's very loving, loves me with all of him. But, you know, they used to have it out. And your father grew up, and that's just what it was. And I said, well, if that's the case, when you have a son, you should make sure it's never what that used to be. And she said, well, that's how you are. Everybody don't handle pain the same way. which I understood, and I'm just like, you know, I get it. So yeah, man, that's just my whole thing. Yeah.
Why you never came back?